Hello troop, this is Mr. Muly. I'm going to today try to start a fire using magnifying lens. All right, I'm just laying it out. I've got a little piece of paper here as a fire starter, and I found some moderately dry sticks and some shavings. I'm going to set this up. I'll show you how I'm going to set it up and then we'll get started. The tool I'm using today is this simple little Fresnel lens. It's a simple magnifying lens. I got, I think, a pack of 5 of them on Amazon for like a couple bucks. They're dirt cheap. In them, they've got like a little bit of a ruler. It's also a magnifying lens, and it's it can be used as a fire starter. So what I've done is I put together some paper here, some shavings, some small twigs. I've also got a piece of paper that I'm using in place of char cloth. I took a dark piece of paper because that'll absorb the sun better. I'm going to get this under here and let's get set. So here we are. You can see the Fresnel lens is, I've already got some smoke. Putting some little bits of oak flowers there. You have to adjust your angle to get the light as small as you possibly can. Here, trying again. I've got a little bit of sawdust there close by. Okay, we've moved. Had to move because the sun is going down. It's late afternoon, and you got to stay in the strong sun for this to work best. I'm going to try and get something started here, and I've got a little bit of cotton I'm going to try to also then get burning. So let's see how this goes. It's a little bit easier to do this when you're looking, the sun's on your shoulder, and you can look down here, get it focused better. I'm immediately seeing smoke. Here, I'm going to try just on the cotton and see how that works. Definitely burning. It's hard to see flames when you do this because it's the light is so bright there. And don't focus on your fingers. That'd be unfortunate. Right here, what you can see is I've got a little piece of char cloth, okay? And I can explain what that is later. It's black, it's charred cloth, but not quite burnt. And I'm going to use that to try to take the spark, or take the, start the flame. All right, so again, we're going to focus it down the char cloth. I've got smoke. And there we go.
Fire!
And now, hopefully, I've got my pieces of wood that I didn't get as many pieces of wood as I'd like, but you can see that worked. I've tried it with just newspaper, black newspaper. I've tried it with cotton. I tried the char cloth. The char cloth on top of cotton worked the best. It's still burning here. To really get the fire going, I would have had to spend a little more time than I had to prepare the appropriate tinder and kindling. But there you go, demonstration. It's late in the afternoon, but it's sunny, and we were able to go ahead and burn my fingers. So awesome. Thank you very much. So, you've seen from the previous demonstration how important, how useful char cloth can be to starting fire through primitive means. What is char cloth? Char cloth is essentially pre-burned cloth or charred cloth, but not just like put a match to it and burn it up to ashes. It's prepared to burn by being cooked over high heat with low oxygen. A lot of the volatiles come off, it kind of chars but doesn't burn away. It leaves a black little piece of cloth, which then takes a spark very well. I use it for my flint and steel setup, and you can see it was also useful for the Fresnel Lens. How might you make char cloth? You need a little char cloth oven. Here's mine. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but this was an old film canister, okay, for film, 35 millimeter film that was used in my old laboratory. Okay, it had stuff printed on it, but it's all more or less burnt away. What you can see is it's the key. You can do it with an Altoids tin or any kind of metal tin. You want it to seal relatively tightly, and then you want on the top make a hole. I don't know if you can see that hole. You can see the back. I just put a nail through it, a small diameter nail, very small hole. You then take and cut pieces of old rag or cloth, and you lay them in here, little strips, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches by 1.5 inches or so. Okay? You then seal it up, and at some camping trip coming up, and I did this, I think it was one of our outings a year ago. I filled this up with cloth. I took it, we got a campfire, stick it in the campfire, and then watch it. So first of all, you'll see your nice metal tin burn off all of the paint on it, and it's going to get black and charred and discolored like this one is. Okay, and but also put it close enough that you can see. What you're going to see is after a short while, that little hole is going to have smoke pouring out of it. Okay, there's no oxygen in there, so it can't really burn, but it's forcing off a lot of volatiles, and it's kind of I can't explain it to you right now. I haven't. It's been a while since I read up on this, but it's charring it without burning it. And then and you leave it in there until the smoke stops coming out of the hole. You then take it out with tongs or sticks, right? Don't grab it, it's metal. It's been sitting in a fire. If you pick it up, you know, you're gonna be like that guy, like the nasty Nazi in Indiana Jones, when he picked up the emblem and burned it on his hand. My daughter doesn't understand why I'm giving you that, but I think, you know, for anyone who's seen Indiana Jones remembers that, that scene. In any case, you then take it after it cools the next morning. You can take it out and you can see what you've got in there, which are little squares of char cloth. Perfect. Now, what kind of cloth to use in there? I'll just tell you that I've used different types of cloth. If it's real thin, like t-shirt material, it's pretty fragile and wimpy. What I've found, what I've liked a lot, especially when I'm using it for flint and steel, when you've got to hold it and manipulate it, this is old jeans material. Much more solid, it holds on better. So thicker, heavier cloth, I would experiment with that. But this is how the tool that you use to make char cloth. Maybe later I'll make a video showing you how to take fresh cloth and convert it over. But since this is just after work, this is the best I can show you right now. Thanks for your attention. Bye.
Thanks for coming to Mr. Muly's Fire Talk. Tune in next week.